Thanksgiving is a time to reconnect with the people you love and care for. And as you're traveling to your destination or spending time with your family or friends, it's important to carry the proper etiquette to make sure you're not the one spoiling the dinner table. We're joined right now by Cynthia from the Charleston School of Protocol and Etiquette to learn some tips to make every dinner table conversation a pleasant one. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Great to have you here. I know you are the hostess, so you are getting ready, but you took some time to stop by the studio and make sure that we are on track this Thanksgiving. Okay, today we're talking about the art of gracious gatherings. You say this is kind of a lost art. What is gracious gathering?
It could be. It could be a lost art. I think that sometimes we get so busy and we're starting the holiday season and sometimes we feel rushed and things are rushed and they're more of a meal rather than a moment or something that we remember. You know, everybody's going to have wonderful food, but it's a lot about the atmosphere, the warmth that you create. And so a gracious gathering is not, you know, I have that saying that refinement is taking something ordinary and making it extraordinary.
Yeah.
And that is not about extravagance. That is about intention. That is about slowing down and doing something, you know, with care. And it's small, nothing crazy, but, you know, like a lit candle or a well-set table or some soft music in the background.
I love that. I always have to have the music in the background.
Yes,
always.
and not loud, so it's dominating things, but just kind of for people to slow down and have that something ordinary to extraordinary, because that's what they'll remember. It's more than a meal, it's a moment.
Definitely.
And
it's
so
about being intentional, right? Taking the extra time to really think about how to make it memorable for others. A lot of people might stress about, you know, seeing family they might not have seen in a while. Crazy times we're living in. There's a lot of chatter on the outside. How do we make sure that we're not bringing, you know, the drama of the world into our Thanksgiving dinner conversations?
I love that. I think Thanksgiving can be a gentle invitation to kind of shift our focus and take it from something that the world often divides us on more into what we share and what we have in common. And you know, everybody wants to be heard, everybody wants to belong, everybody wants to be of value. So those are things that we have in common, those are things that we share, and we shift our conversation to those things. It becomes more of a connection rather than a tension. And sometimes you have to divert a conversation. Sometimes something may be heading in that direction, but you know, listening does not say that you have to take a side, make a choice, make a decision, agree with that person. Listening just says, and this is also part of refinement, having somebody to listen to you, right? And everybody wants to be heard. And it could be something that you just say, when somebody says something, you don't have to agree, disagree, make a side, you know, make a decision. You can just say something like, well, that's so interesting. Thank you for sharing your point of view. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, or I've never really thought about it that way. And then sort of shift that conversation a little bit rather than creating an argument, but rather creating a memory.
Yeah, I like that. You're shifting it in a way that's still respectful for everybody else. Doesn't make it more awkward.
That's right. That's exactly right, because things can get a little bit awkward, but you know, even just taking a moment on what we share, maybe go around the table and have everybody say something that they are grateful for.
We always do that in my house.
And that starts a conversation, because after that's over, you can have those conversations about that, because sometimes families don't know what to have a conversation about. They're not around each other all the time. So stuff like that, and just a warm welcome, just simple little things that really make a difference.
Yeah, okay, if you're going to somebody else's house for Thanksgiving, should we be bringing a gift? What should we be doing?
Well, if you're going to bring a dish, always make sure that you have checked that with the host, because you don't want like 3 stuffings and no something else. So always ask, and if the host gives you a suggestion or says something, or maybe you have a special dish that you make, so then the host doesn't make that. But make sure if you're bringing a dish, that's something, and that's fine. Absolutely. You can always bring flowers, a candle, you know, bubbles, something that, you know, how well you know that host. But I do think it's nice to bring a little house gift to someone, absolutely.
What about after the gathering? Are we supposed to send a thank you note, or are we just supposed to send a text?
Right.
What do you think?
Thank you notes take the time, and especially for a refinement, right, ordinary to extraordinary, would always be to take the time, make the effort, and handwrite a note. texting is better than nothing, but a handwritten note is always lovely. And if you get there, again, we've talked about this once before, and you realize other people brought something and you didn't, then you can always send it the day after, you know, an edible arrangement or a little flowers or something that you can always send later if you thought, oh my gosh, I didn't bring a gift, I should have.
Yeah.
And so those things can always happen.
Yeah, guys, well, if you want more tips, of course, if this is one topic, but you cover so many different topics, you can go right there to that website, charlestonschoolofprotocol.com, connect with Cindy. She has tips on every single topic. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You have a lot of cooking to do.
I do.
We better get to it. All right, guys, we'll be right back.